Oh, Remo, I'm excited. I'm excited seeing this, and XlorD already with a little bit of banter in the beginning. Not sure if you saw that, but hey, XlorD, right? If he's in the mood to troll a bit, he's in the mood to troll a bit.
Yeah, we've certainly seen that when we were at the Experion event over the weekend, where him and the rest of the Mouse boys were represented, and were very successful. Enter successfully hosting the event, and him and Juan both in the grand final. In the end, XlorD there once again, the winner, as he has won so many tournaments before. Gonna be opening up with the Ghoul build with the DK, and for Kevin, and this one I was not expecting, we're seeing a Demoner first.
Yeah, Kevin without a keeper. Is that even possible? Well, he is good friends with Jokern, and Jokern is one of the better Demon Hunter players in Germany with that hero, so maybe the advice is coming from him, and maybe it's a little bit of a surprise for XlorD as well. It won't throw him off too much for that. XlorD has played enough games, of course. But yeah, it's super annoying and takes away the biggest weapons for an undead, and that is called a Nova.
Game not starting off too shabby here. Also dodges the coil with the wisp, and I can tell you, it always feels annoying when you throw that coil and then the wisp just turns into a building. But here, pump fakes the next coil that's gonna cause a detonate, and there was a couple of resources lost here for Kevin, having to make these buildings and castle and going triple Moonwell before the tech.
Wow.
It's gonna be a rather late tech then.
I think it's very important for Kevin to get this first move off, this little micro battle between Coil and Wisp. So we know sometimes he's a little nervous when it comes to important games, and he got that under control when it comes to Meisterschaft. In his first season, where he ended up in the relegation, he was oftentimes shaky, and in crazy late games, he oftentimes did the one mistake that he's not allowed to do, and then lost the series eventually. But half a year later, in the second season, that was almost not noticeable anymore. Like, it felt like he has his nerves under control, no big mistakes in the early games, and also the late games were a lot more stable than before.
Under attack.
Yeah, and the nice thing here for Kevin is, from a mental standpoint, he's the one who doesn't have any pressure on him. Nobody's expecting him here to win, and would be mad if he didn't. So he can surprise, and only positively basically surprise here in this match. Gonna start to get harassed in the main, where a few wisps are gonna go down. Ooh, point blank detonate dodge. Nicely done. Less experience here going to the DK that way. Demon Hunter, good items. Got the slippers and the ring, both good. Ring, especially in the late game, very nice. And got a level 2 quickly as well. As finally the ghouls are moving out to creep. This is what Happy started doing. Harassing with the DK, while the ghouls with backpack creep solo, and ensure that the DK is also getting some levels.
I think so too. Well, we talked about Kevin's Twitter game a little before every important match. He gets a tweet out saying, "I'm sorry guys, I was so busy this entire week. I barely practiced and couldn't prepare really well. I'm letting you in a little secret." Oh, that was a big deny though. I'm letting you in a little secret. That's a lie. He was practicing quite a bit. At least he was playing WarCraft quite a bit, and I imagine some of these hours went into one-on-one practice as well.
Yeah, of course, he likes to kid around every now and then. He likes to, you know, satisfy the viewers with the memes. And he did put in some practice and trying to get ready for this match here, this big match today. The DK continues to creep. Picked a lot of items up with these ghouls. We got the gloves here somewhere. We got some other items as well. And both heroes getting closer to level 3. That one right-click steal, that's making the level 3 difference right now between these heroes.
Yeah, that does hurt. And he would love to have a level 3 Demon Hunter now, who has a great inventory, as you said. Naga second as well, no Panda. So, timing-dependent push, I guess, because there's no hunt soul. We've seen this before by Kevin, that he has these exquisite timings that maybe that is something that can surprise XlorD, because no one else is really playing them.
Yeah, if he goes into mass air from this, there's also a strategy that Foggy showed before, that Foggy played especially well in the past on Last Refuge, where with that strat he was able to beat Happy a few times, going into a fast expansion, and then going into mass air after the archers with the Naga. However, that expansion is starting to be seriously not so fast anymore, as it was cancelled before. Now we have the Wisp going out, but the tier 3 tech for XlorD already started.
Yeah, that's smooth sailing so far. For the Lord, I would think. Also, he picked up a couple of items with the ghoul and placed it in the base, I guess. So now for the Lich. Naga level 2, okay. I still don't see a wind. But okay, improved bows, expansion. Let's see how that goes. XlorD's scouting usually impeccable. He will know what's going on, or he will at least consider the options.
Marksmanship archers is also a strat we've seen before. Expand, rush tier 3, and then just go marksmanship. Normally though we see that with the keeper. Keeper demon marksmanship, but here it's not going to be a keeper involved this time around. Good movement by the keeper, gonna make this creeping a bit harder for XlorD, draining a lot of mana. And this is, outside of that expansion cancel, not a bad game for Kevin, really. Again, gonna slow down the opposing side here while the Naga keeps creeping.
Exactly. Lich is not really slowed down. I mean, it's a little slowed down. Picks up a great damage item again. Robe of the Magi on top of 2 Gloves of Haste, plus the orb coming soon. That's a lot of deeps, Remo.
Tried to go for the Invul Potion there, but the DK stole it. That's a big deal. This Demon Hunter is going to be the frontline tank, which is always going to be focused, or should be focused. Seeing that Invul away was a really, really big move right here. As we do see, in fact, the tier 3. Okay, now the strategy is certainly exposed. Marksmanship archers are going to be the call. The reason why this worked especially well against Happy for a while was because Happy was really stubborn, not going into Frenzy Ghouls, but sticking with Fiends. Fiends don't do so well against archers with marksmanship, but Frenzy Ghouls, if they get on top, can have a field day against them. And I think XlorD is going to be way less stubborn compared to Happy. He's just going to go more and more Ghouls, and these archers, if they're ever out of position, might be in serious trouble.
Yeah, also he didn't pick up too many ghouls in the early, right? So from there, that's quite a few units remaining. Now XlorD with another cream spot here. Actually, I wouldn't be too surprised to see a late game switch into Mountain Giants, Kevin's favorite unit. He has the best taunt micro in the world, we all know that. Nova Claws of Attack +9. Did he get his hands on the Happy item DLC?
Yeah, this is certainly going to be very nice for the Lich, who's in trouble right away! Invul Potion helps him survive that Fog Lightning. And the aggressive play here by Kevin really surprising me, perhaps surprising XlorD a bit here as well. But only 1 ghoul went down there at the end of the day, and the Frenzy is going to be finished in a moment. Kevin was trying to do big damage before Frenzy, but he didn't get that much damage out. It was a bit of kills, a single ghoul, but that wasn't too much. And now he's going in again. Fog Lightning, Focus Fire takes out 2 more ghouls and a third. Hey, this was pretty good. 4 ghouls killed in total. The TP now gone, of course, but that was a good investment of that TP scroll. Problem is, XlorD can pick up a Dark Ranger now and then go on a hunt.
Yeah, it's only still 40 supply. Is there any fortification? He does have the help of the shop, gets the wisps in. Kevin at 42 supply, of course, his reinforcements are arriving relatively early. This mine didn't really pay off. Never really saturated. And here we go. Demon Hunter needs to carry this. Naga needs to carry this. He got a Scroll of the Beast and a Scroll of Healing. And these ghouls, with good positioning by these archers so far, might be dead soon. Heal Scroll used. Naga. Uh-oh, on a silver platter. And here as there is the staff on cooldown. Second hero down. XlorD smelling blood in the water with a couple of ghouls remaining.
There's always the big issues with archers. If you're ever caught off guard, if you're out of position, if you miss micro, if you right-click into ghouls, suddenly everything dies. Kevin had a good game so far, but here in the end, he's getting slaughtered. Also, the mana burns. He wasn't able to get out in time. He was in a bit of a panic mode there, just trying to move his archers. And he missed position. He shouldn't have been standing behind the shop. He should have been between expansion and main base and then kiting back and forth. And this can be the big problem with this strategy. Surround now on the Demon Hunter. He has a healing potion, but no TP anymore. Might not be enough to get out here. Oh, he does. Thank goodness. But the ghouls, if they can't get the demon, they'll be satisfied with the archers instead.
Oh yeah, there's not too many of them left actually. Expo stands for now. Kevin is trying to build a second edge of war, of course, which doesn't work. Down to only 30 supply and dropping. Ghoul's really good in tearing down buildings. We all know that. We got Frost Armor here to protect them. And a monstrous Lich as well. As XlorD is taking map number 1 off of Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin did some good things, but that was a very, as clean a timing as it comes here from XlorD. He hit exactly as tier 3 finished from Kevin, and in the chaos, that was this big attack at his expansion. Kevin didn't even think to buy Orb. He didn't even use the Scroll of the Beast, which, by the way, this is the absolute dream. Like, you're going for mass archers, you want to get like a lot of damage. He didn't even think to use that, just because XlorD got on top of his army so quick. Like, Kevin didn't even have time to think about anything, so... yeah, unfortunate for him. I feel like if he had been given, you know, like 30 seconds, a minute more, and then he gets marksmanship, he uses the Scroll of the Beast, we can be looking at a different game if there is Orb as well in there. But XlorD, he knew exactly when to attack, and he gets rewarded for it with a first map win.
Yeah, pretty clean, no big mistakes there at all. That is an XlorD that could definitely go into the semifinals, even though this is, of course, one of the weaker opponents that we have in the entire tournament, at least elo-wise. Next map coming up, Tidehunters was Kevin's map. Now we move over to XlorD's map, where it's Last Refuge.
Where the very same strategy is honestly playable. You can level up with the demon quickly to 2 and beyond, get to 3, get some items, get up this expansion. It's important to try to make sure that this expansion doesn't get cancelled. XlorD got the expo cancelled with only DK and skeletons. That is supposed to be prevented with better scouting, with wisps around, with a demon hunter paying attention. And honestly, that single last hit with the right click with Frostmourne, that did have quite the impact there. Gave him level 3, prevented Demon Hunter level 3. So clean up that early game a little bit more. Make sure you're scouting well, and make sure you're hitting your timings. Get the expansion faster, get tier 3 faster, get the orb faster. But outside of that, just strategically and movement-wise, this was really good by Kevin. The way he was able to diminish the ghoul numbers shortly before Frenzy fully kicked in, and then using the TP to get back, that was tactically super smart. Unfortunately, then he mispositioned and was stuck there behind his shop. You can't get a false sense of security there. If you're standing between your buildings, if you're thinking, well, this is good static defense for me that helping me out. No. If you're backed against the trees, the ghouls are going to eat you alive. You always need to have an avenue to retreat. You always need to be able to kite backwards. If you're stuck there against the back of your own expansion, you're going to lose everything, like we saw there. That coupled with a bit of mana burn negligence made for a convincing fight there for XlorD in the end. But until then, it looked decent.
Well, what was this photo of Kevin? Was he out skydiving or something?
He was probably tracking somewhere.
I think that was a parachute on his back, no?
No, I think, I don't know, he went up a mountain or something. You know, he plays Night Elf. He's probably in love with nature. Exploring the beautiful sights of southern Germany. I can see that.
Well, Remo plays Undead. That doesn't mean he hangs out around graveyards, you know, like in a cave in the dark.
We probably shouldn't ask.
Todd,
we shouldn't go into this one. It's way too dangerous territory when it comes to Remo.
I have a story about that.
Remo, okay, sorry, we gotta go in game. I'm very unfortunate that we're running out of time because game 2, map 2, has started once more. It's the 1-0 lead for XlorD. And he's pushing for the winner bracket final in Group D, where he would meet either Krav or Ente. That will be determined tomorrow. Let's buckle up and have some fun with the German derby of XlorD versus Kevin. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, in the bottom left-hand side, a previous favorite and finalist of DreamHack, playing in the red, fitting for mouse sports, is XlorD. And in the upper right, in the blue for the Rocket Beans and the entire community basically, is DreamHack Fall, his rise to fame. This is Kevin Schwem.
I like the rhyme. Here we go. It's a little bit harder to rhyme in English, right? In German, you can just blast them out one by one. But that was a good one.
Thank you.
This time around, we're going to have a different hero. We're going to be starting off with the Keeper first here. It seems like Kevin really has tailor-made strategies ready for today. And again, I bring up this point over and over because it really was so well done. The early game, the movement, the tactical choices of trying to look for power spikes by Kevin on map 1 was really good. Just at the very end, in the late game fights, that is where he was overpowered once again.
I was
so
thinking
either
about that.
clean up your early...
I wanted to comment on that actually for one like topic thing. Is that a thing that separates the tier 1 players from a tier 2 player, for example?
Yes, oftentimes. It's about being ready for the engagement and being set up properly to take a decent fight. Like, not even kiting at the right time, but being in the right position as well, seeing it coming and having the correct anticipation. With that position that Kevin moved himself into, it was almost impossible to win that game from there, but you know, he had a really good game until that point. The first 10 minutes or so for Kevin looked really nice, with the exception of that one last hit and the expansion being denied that one time, being cancelled that one time. And now, again, a tailor-made strategy, an early Hunter's Haul for Kevin, which is not very usual to see.
Yeah, I like that. I knew he would be coming prepared. I knew he would be able to throw some curveballs, and now it's up to XlorD to defend this. And of course, to scout this, which is not too common, because, I mean, who built something here on the high ground this early? It has happened in the history of Warcraft 3. Obviously, we've probably seen everything that's possible in this game at this point. But if you play the Foggies all the time and all the other great Night Elf players that are usually more on XlorD's level, no one does this.
Yeah, I wonder what exactly this is. Is this going to be an AP push? Well, that's answered with no, as we see the tier 2 starting. Foggy and Moon for a while were playing Hunt's expansion into air. Yeah. Either hippos or fairies. That is extremely rarely seen nowadays. I remember this was relevant like 1 year ago, maybe more, where Moon defeated 1-0 with this, and I remember distinctly talking with XlorD about this, and XlorD felt that this was really strong and that the undead normal build wasn't working out so well against this. Moon and 1-0 met again, and Moon again played the same style, Hunt's expansion into air, and it turned out that the best counter build against this is probably Gargoyles, which is something that is very rarely seen and not played much by XlorD at all. So yeah, XlorD needs to find out quickly what's going on here, and then properly react.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because back in the day he was a tremendous Gargoyle player in this matchup. We have a little bit of slow here coming in, by the way, and Tangle, so lots of pressure on the DK, which we see more in a couple of matchups. Might force you into a Ritual Dagger, might force you into a little bit of a slower game, and mostly the presence of the Keeper here is just distracting from whatever is brewing for Kevin.
And that is the expansion coming up in a pretty standard position. Wouldn't be too surprised if XlorD was to scout this here.
Wow. Skeleton already on the way. Like, you mind control him a little bit. Oh, and there he stops.
Stop moving.
Maybe I'm mind controlling now. I'm taking over.
But there we go. XlorD with a second crypt. He has identified what's going on here. He will be trying to go to Gargs. It's very late, though. This crypt is, in fact, much too late.
Second last and Tangle. Yeah, you won't be able to get the necessary number of Gargs for an early harass or for a cancel. You can distract and buy time for your own expansion if that's what you're into.
XlorD sends out the ghouls, accidentally walks into the Merc camp. Whoops, but seems to be fine with all the ghouls. And both heroes here severely underleveled, which should favor the Keeper.
I agree. I mean, we all know it's very hard to get to level 3 here. Still, level 2 would be kind of nice to get... Oh, second Engine of War? What? Panda second. Okay. To get the treants for creeping. Speaking of creeping, Mercenary camp now. Natural expansion now. Is Kevin still around to see this? A Wisp comes in. Could be nice timing.
Just a moment ago, it seemed like the low-level Keeper was going to be beneficial here for Kevin. But XlorD, perhaps he identified that this Keeper is not going to be much of a threat to cancel an expansion. He's just counter-expanding. If the Keeper is level 3 with level 2 treants, it's so hard to secure this expansion to come up. But with the Keeper only level 2, this might be much more doable. The Wisp is taken out, although he may have seen it, and XlorD got the 2 Ziggurats and the Haunted coming.
Okay, and we all know, at least the ESL Meisterschaft viewers, how much Kevin despises Nerub towers. I think he said that multiple times on Todd's Town Hall talk as well. So maybe that is XlorD's game plan now. Build just 1-2 Nerub towers and fear Kevin away. Scare?
There's an AP. Oh, look at that AP placement between the Merc and the Expo. That's pretty cool. Oh, the Ghoul.
It's nighttime,
Very close
though.
to seeing it, but not quite.
Oh, that's so sweet. Okay, DK is around, sees what's happening. Another AP in the north. And XlorD rather goes for the main, scouting on the upper left with only 2 gargoyles, but there is anti-air. Not the biggest deal.
In one-shot these Wisps here, make this a bit more expensive in the lumber. Oh, the Acolyte that's coming over from the main is going to see the AP, but I think it's going to be too late to cancel.
You might be able to lure the creeps into it. But yeah, it's close to finishing. So does he have Nature's Blessing or not? Can't check it at the moment. He doesn't.
Oh, he attacked the creeps by accident. Oh!
Self-sabotage! Oh!
That is a bit of a bummer.
That's a yikes.
But the creeps
if you
might
ask
still
me.
be attacking the under expansion then.
AP gets a kill right there. Hunts are in. Pandas in. Treants are in. Wait, that was a big breath of fire. Not sure if eventually the AP was worth it. But this is a kind of dedicated push to distract from his expansion.
Yeah, if XlorD had just 1 Rod of Necromancy here, this would be much easier to defend with, but he doesn't have any Necromancy. It might be worth to TP to the main right now.
Wow.
Just to get Rod of Necromancy, because this is quite some pressure here he's under. And yeah, he can take out the Hunts easily with the towers, but not so much the Archers. Also, Wisp or Acolyte repair severely lacking. DK getting entangled. A blessing in disguise here, honestly, that he can TP back to the main now.
He's losing a
Which
lot
he
of
will have to do.
HP for it. Let's see, can he continue with this pressure? He's clearly taking out a couple of Acolytes as well, forcing resources for the repair. And there's no pressure on his own expansion. So Kevin, 12 supply ahead, dealing very, very good damage. Let's see. Oh, gargoyle numbers reduced as well. And XlorD is not switching anything up, really.
Wait, here comes the new Treant summon. That's a big deal. XlorD needs to be fast with the repair, but I think it's too late for the Spirit Tower. XlorD is going to clean this up with the ghouls, probably, but this was very expensive.
Exactly. Deny on the Berserker as well. Kevin is playing an excellent game. It feels like he got his nerves under control, if that was an issue in game 1. At least a little bit. And they're exchanging ghouls for archers, with Kevin having this expansion up for quite a while. Might still be favored here. And now we got the Rod of Necromancy, though. That's exactly what you said before.
Gonna force back the archers, but the heroes are still around. DK, however, a bit of mana still left. Nerub Tower, of course, the nemesis, is still here.
Can't break it. Can't break it. Okay, there was one more Breath of Fire, but he saves it. Oh, look at this. He actually buys the Mud Golem to live the meme.
The DK's out of mana again. XlorD does not have a Lich yet. It just started a second ago, so we'll be here or we'll be out in 30 seconds. A shop in the back. Kevin wants to keep up the pressure. This has been great damage so far, but there's no great transition. We don't have any lures yet for Kevin.
Yeah.
He's just stuck on archers and mercs for now.
Wouldn't mind to see a glaive or something for some additional damage against buildings. But XlorD, just as in summer when he was threatened a lot by Starbug, doesn't have the easiest of games. Not saying that this is unwinnable, but it's gonna be pretty, like a lot harder than you expect when you just look at the ELO ranks of the 2 players.
More Gargars going down. The Panda got level 3 already. Again, XlorD has to bring in new items, this time with the Lich. Mana Potion and Rod of Necromancy, that's the right call. Is that gonna be enough to force back these archers here?
How many follow-up kills can he get? Now he's out of mana himself. Would love to... Oh, is he actually building a shop? Oh my god, the shop by Kevin to get potions.
Are under attack.
That's just beautiful. So
More
is the
and more
Nova.
and more archers. We have some wisps here for the detonate. Very important against the skellies as well, but it's not that many skellies here yet. And so many treants.
Yep. He took a hike. Made friends with all the trees there. And now uses them against XlorD. Oh my god. That Lich is a menace, but of course he's also, at this moment, a little squishy. Always has to be careful as the damage is ramping up. Kevin stays at 50. Will he finally defeat his big nemesis, that is the Naruk Tower?
Very good for him. He's got a big army over here. XlorD just doesn't have the firepower. He has like no units. I think XlorD has to give up this base. And maybe give up this game.
Well,
Lich getting entangled. And going down. Coil too late. Breath of Fire secures the kill.
Are you kidding me? The legend that is Kevin Schwem, he carries this over to DreamHack, but we almost said this about Star-Shaped as well in summer. That wild game on Tidehunters.
Guys, look at the supply.
Look at the 46 to 23. Yeah, I know. But it's still XlorD and it's still so hard to crack. But, oh my god, he can't kill that Naruk Tower. Is that a bug when Kevin is in the game?
XlorD trying everything, but his income is just so much lower. Kevin can resupply army much easier. In fact, he's got 1,000 gold here. Unable to spend all of his resources. Now pumping from the Ancients of War for the archers. Could go for some more mercs as well. And XlorD's gonna unsummon the expansion.
This game is now who's to claim Kevin Schwem. No?
Huh?
You probably muted yourself because you were laughing so hard, right? Yeah, I can totally see that. We got 2 bases for the underdog. We got 1 base for XlorD. Now Kevin going for an Engine of Wind as well.
Are under attack.
Level 4, level 3, and that base is broken. Was so expensive. XlorD never started the tier 3 transition. It's looking really good, but Kevin could still fall to the Icarus syndrome. And XlorD is really, really, really hard to kill.
No dust here for XlorD, otherwise this could be a lot more archer kills. Going for a new dust now at the shop, and he's got the first statue out. This is going to be so much regen over time. But the hero levels for XlorD really not the greatest. If he was level 5 and 3, then Kevin would be far from out of the woods.
Yeah.
But this Lich especially needs some more levels.
Got 2 heal scrolls. Oh, the damage is ramping up. There's not much mana, and the Lich dies for the second time. XlorD, when is it time to give up this game? What's your plan B? He's down once again to 27. This Ogre goes to Kevin as well. Went with mana stealing. GG! And we do have the big surprise of game 1. The day 1 curse is broken, everybody, as Kevin takes a map off of XlorD.
What an upset. Rank 9 against rank 100 in the world. When does that ever happen? Never. Usually you see rank 9 against rank 100. It's like a clean 2-0, barely any units lost. But Kevin Schwem is a man of the people. And you might have thought this whole time that my favorite player was always a human player. No. He's a Night Elf player and his name is Kevin.
Give this man a little time to prepare and he comes up with tailor-made strategies, and that's what makes him so strong. Not necessarily in qualifiers or cups, but in leagues and tournaments like this. So absolutely excellent. Remo, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, this was a really nicely played game by Kevin. This tier 2 on that expansion, it's really susceptible to being pushed. The keeper was not level 3 for a long time, but once he's level 3, it's so many treants over and over. The shop in the back made a ton of sense. And honestly, what enabled all of this was the 1 AP, which almost looked like it was backfiring on him, but what it did was it kept the ghouls busy and allowed for the ghouls to quickly then after be taken out by the panda. And the tier 2 on that expansion still seems to be the worst out of all of them. Tier 1 expansion, very well played by some players out there. Tier 3 expansion, like we saw earlier by Happy, but the tier 2 expo is really susceptible to the Night Elf aggression.
We give everybody a little time to let that sink in, and of course to spread the hype of Kevin and XlorD. We have the Decider map coming up after a little break. You don't go anywhere, just tell your friends. We're back at the DreamHack Open Fall powered by Coinbase, and we have an upset, ladies and gentlemen. The series is tied between Kevin and XlorD, and that is an even bigger upset if we take a look at all the Meisterschafts games where even the vice champions struggle to take a map off of XlorD. And here comes Kevin, who was 1 year ago in the relegation of that league, taking a map off of him at the biggest European stage we got. Will he crumble under the pressure, or can he do it again and go all the way in the Group D winner bracket? Todd, your forecast?
He's gonna do it. It's gonna be the biggest upset, and anybody that's not there right now is missing out on the biggest upset of all time here at DreamHack.
All right then, if you say so. I take you by your word. This is game 3. This is the decision. This is XlorD versus Kevin. Here we go, Revo. This feels very special.
Yeah, if Kevin can make it work here, man, this would be a great result for him. This would put him in a good position to make it out of the group, and just to be able to beat XlorD, who was so dominant in Germany for so long, would be such a great achievement for him. But it is going to be a lot harder this time around. XlorD, he was very experimental on map 2. He played a strategy that most undeads know isn't really good. The tier 2 expansion. It's going to be much different this time. It's going to be either a tier 3 expo, tier 1 expo, or just a push on tier 3. Since this is Concealed Hill, it certainly shouldn't be a tier 1 expo. That is rather suicidal. So it's going to be a tier 3 rush this time, very likely. And it could be Gargoyles, absolutely, once again. Always going to be enticing on Concealed Hill.
Oh, for sure. I think it's a little bit of a question now as well if the picks and bans went according to plan for Kevin. If yes, he'll probably have a very good plan for Concealed as well, which is not too uncommon to see in this matchup. But if he was surprised, but I don't think so, because the bans for XlorD were Amazonia and Echo. You kind of expect them?
Yeah, Concealed Hill should absolutely be in the playbook for the Night Elves. This is where Keeper Demon Ride expansion works out very well. Creeping the expansion can be tough at times, but you have a pretty good creep route beyond that. You can go to the Merchant, Lab, and XlorD in the middle at the Red Camp to get the level 3 on the Demon, which you need. So that is the standard play. But Kevin has not been playing much standard so far. He's been showing 2 different strategies here so far. Of course, now he could go to standard as well to remain entirely unpredictable.
Absolutely true. Do you know what Kevin's favorite button on the keyboard is, Remo?
T.
T, absolutely. And why is that T? Because that stands for taunt, and that is an ability by Mountain Giants. Nice steal by XlorD. And Mountain Giants feel very good on this map, thanks to the fountains.
That's true. They don't feel so good on this patch anymore, though, where the Mountain Giants certainly got nerfed with the taunt, and where the Bears are looking oftentimes a lot better. So much mana nowadays, so much damage from the Bears, of course less tankiness, but especially those rejuves for Demon Hunter, very good. But it's gonna be a story for the late game. We're expecting an expansion early, at some point, probably on the way to tier 2, and then securing that expansion with mass tier 2 units. If we go tier 3, it should take quite some time.
Yeah, in the little break we had, I just peeked into the Rocket Beans Discord, by the way, to see just the reactions of the people, and there were going like hundreds of people going crazy. And then at the end of our break, Kevin comes and sneaks in a cheeky "feels good" into that chat. So even between the series, he feels connected to the Rocket Beans, and that just shows what kind of guy he is.
Make himself a legend and a hero today if he wins here as well. But XlorD now showing up to play, leaving no doubt anymore if he's in good shape here. Very clean early game. Got the level 2. The ghouls, like we saw earlier on Tidehunters, creeping while the DK is harassing at the same time. They're picking up some items. Gonna give them over to the DK at some point. But actually now Happy, or I'm saying Happy already because this is the way Happy always plays. XlorD rather, retreating back to his side of the map. Perhaps concerned with the Keeper showing up and harassing. However, he got the tele staff as well, so could quickly teleport elsewhere on the map.
Yeah, this was a little bit of a battle at the shop between them, and XlorD got the upper hand of that exchange. Think he's also closer to the server or something, I'm not 100% sure, but that certainly helped. For XlorD, we might say that he seems to be pretty busy at the moment with work, and I'm not too sure how much he was able to practice and how busy his day was. That was something he mentioned during the Experion Cup. Couple of archers here, but interception by XlorD, getting entangled, and that should cover the retreat fairly well.
All mana on the DK, by the way. His tier 2 aggressive potential is going to be really high. Comes in with a deny there as well. Again, slowing down the keeper. He's going to have to go back to the Moonwells first, summon the Treants again, go over to the creep camp, and get level 3 finally. Tree of Life is also not super fast. XlorD could staff out now if he wants, but doesn't quite get trapped.
Slippery DK, that is. We see a Lich and a Graveyard, and yeah, lots of ghouls, no second crypt, no Gargs this time, even though it of course is a little tempting, thanks to the fountains. But no, this is not what we're seeing. It's again a lot of ghouls and creeping, and a good second hero. Well, for Kevin, we see the lures, we see the demon. It's pretty much standard.
Oh, and XlorD, I saw this before. He's sending over the ghouls to the natural, then he's going to staff in to creep this camp. Not yet, though. But good read by Kevin. He may see this coming. Oh, no, he doesn't. I thought maybe he's on his way up there. No, he's just trying to creep level 3 finally. And the DK didn't even have to staff up there. Just the ghouls solo creeping this. It was a lot of them. But XlorD is not expanding here. He's just creeping this for experience. He is going tier 3. He doesn't want to get overwhelmed on tier 2 again.
Yeah, lesson learned, I guess. Lich is out now. Creeping for the keeper goes well too. That is level 3 for him now. So yeah, he should know this is crap, but you don't expand here anymore. Is it time for some shopping? Telly staff on Kevin's side as well. Last hit goes to the trap. This one to XlorD. Both arrive on level 3. Both arrive on tier 2. No one is really unhappy with that game, I guess. Sweet staff by XlorD onto that skeleton. Very good movement by both players.
Timing, unfortunately, a bit off, though, for Kevin. Normally, you want to have that Tree of Life over at the expansion right away when the Demon Hunter is out. This expo will be quite delayed, and XlorD will have the opportunity here to do big damage against it. But same is the case for the Keepers. Tezza low in the main base, and could kill off some ghouls right here.
Yeah, gotta be careful to not get surrounded, but he has the staff to get out, and Coil Nova is far away. But in the meantime, DK and Lich find these archers. Demon Hunter wanted to get up to level 3, but Slow helps him out. On the flip side, how much damage is there? Treant still raging, and this was quite a bit of damage, but my god, it's a slaughter on both sides.
He also must have used that item instantly. I didn't even see it.
No, it's there. It's behind the Chateau 4. Oh my god.
Oh my god, it's still there!
Big mana,
oh,
dude!
Big mana! Yoink! Oh, goodness.
Ay. That's a lot of coils, especially against the Demon Hunter. Super helpful to have extra mana. Transition to Fiends now on the way as Kevin gets the Shredder.
Oh, I don't like that at all. He's got plenty of gold already, or plenty of lumber, I should rather say. This Shredder is almost 400 gold. Very, very expensive. And again, he's going to get creep jack. This could be 2 more archers going down. Well, or some wisps, I guess. Both is good. DK still has another coil to use. And that mana potion still if he wants.
Uh-oh. This might be the end right here with just a couple of heroes. XlorD not getting any reinforcements, but tier 3 is done. Ghoul Frenzy is in as well. Kevin now using the Shredder for this defense. Cleans it up, but oh yeah, that was a lot of work. He's still
staff by XlorD gets the Lich back home, picks up the orb, sells the staff, and now we're gonna have a timing here, ready to say hello soon, and a 5th Acolyte. So XlorD perhaps trying to threaten the timing, poke a bit, and expand behind it.
Yeah, 6th Acolyte, of course. So we have a frenzy push with dedication. It feels like most of the undeads, and correct me if I'm wrong, but most of the undeads are back to dual hero. Like times of a Tinker push or a Naga third are over.
Yeah, for the most part. Happy will still throw in a Tinker third every now and then if he's feeling like he wants to end the game right there. But mostly it's dual hero with a counter expansion, which seems less committal, less all in. But beautiful scout by Kevin. He sees this instantly with a Wisp in the north. But the question is, can he do anything about it? Probably not, because he's under pressure right now.
Has to react somehow. Does he have the gold to build something? He's moving. Did he queue it? Yep, an Engine Protector again. If this works, the AP is clearly the unit of this series.
The town is under siege.
But what are the odds?
XlorD could just bring the ghouls from the main over. That's an easy cancel. Yep, he's gonna do that. Still lots of creeps on the map. Could take out the XlorD right now. Oh, but the Keeper Staff, here we go.
Ooh.
This should be the cancel then.
Pretty big commitment though, as the DK and Lich are arriving. And these Treants take it out, and that is another expansion cancelled. Kevin, finding answers.
And maybe a mistake by XlorD here to bring back the whole army. If he just sends the ghouls there to cancel, he can continue pressuring with his main force. But maybe he felt with the Ancient of War and AP there in the south, this was also very secure. A Nihilov expansion, but good move by Kevin. Delaying that expansion there is crucial.
It is a risk that he's taking here. The XlorD is already moving back. There's the Zeppelin. XlorD, is he smelling this, or will Kevin be able to clean the entire high ground? Okay, gets it. Biggest item on the map. Katka's Pipe. Not bad, and especially great to not have on the undead side.
Yeah, that's the big one there. Preventing XlorD from grabbing that up.
Oh, I
XlorD close to 2 level ups. Lich and DK, that would be huge.
Love how the Zeppelin was scouting around the corner to always see XlorD coming in. He's
Now XlorD gonna go for a distraction push, trying to force Kevin to stay back. If Kevin now has the window to cancel the Haunted Gold Mine, this would be huge for him. And I think he realizes it.
Zeppelin.
Kevin has the right movement again.
My god. How did his WarCraft IQ grow over the past 12 months? Unbelievable. I mean, we all know that he's a smart guy working in a university and not as a janitor or anything, but actually contributing to the research. And that is another cancel.
However, Kevin can't go into upkeep himself. He's losing all of his Moonwell, so he's stuck here at 50. And a Dryad army on only 50 supply isn't that strong, especially considering he doesn't have armor upgrades yet.
Yeah.
So these fiends could snipe him quite easily. Leaves the Treants behind to make sure he continues to cancel this Haunted Gold Mine. That's a nice move. And this game is weird. Officially, status is weird.
I'm pretty happy that we're getting this, because I said this now, I guess, 3 times, that Kevin games are indeed weird. So here we go. XlorD, no we don't. XlorD TPing out immediately, keeps the lore intact. And Kevin rebuilds at least some Moonwells. Building another one. He has 600 gold that can always be spent on items and upgrades, and that's exactly what he does. No tech yet, even though he has the resources. But what is XlorD doing now?
Seems like he's gonna go for a timing after all. A-bomb coming, fiends, and it's gonna get 2 level ups, I think, from this creep camp. Well, at least DK level 4, which is a big deal. But this game is not looking too bad for Kevin. He starts the tier 3 now. If he can survive for 3 more minutes, Kevin might win this.
And the fortification at this expansion is Foggy-esque. I'm pretty sure it's part of Foggy's playbook. Engine Protector, Shop, Engine of War, 4 Moonwells. A couple of them, of course, due to XlorD's push into the main. So that is not, you know, the greatest position for 4 of them, because if you staff, then there's no healing in the main. But for holding an expansion, that's excellent.
What's the items here gonna be? What's the hero levels gonna be? This is a big deal.
Rope.
Demon Hunter with the rope. Well, okay for the Keeper. Sobi Mask for XlorD. Oh, that's a huge find.
Yeah.
And he's got the big army now. 5 fiends, A-bomb, more fiends coming, and the first attack upgrade, which is also a big deal. The Dryads do have 1 armor upgrade finally, and the second one queued.
Kevin has no TP. Can XlorD use the time to punch, or will Kevin be in time to hold 700 gold? Now the 70 supply Moonwell finishes. Can he raise up tier 3 at 50%? Bear upgrades coming.
Town is under siege.
And XlorD is going for the main.
Oh, the Dryad's not looking
no.
right now.
Oh,
It's
what
gonna
mistake.
be 2 going down right away at least.
Disease
okay.
cloud spread as well. This was like he gets
Oh,
away with the
4
black.
Dryads. Oh, not looking quickly enough at the minimap. Getting caught off guard. He had the Ultra Vision advantage, but it wasn't enough.
And now this law falls, and that will delay bear upgrades and bear production in general. Kevin, what do you do? Excellent game so far. One mistake. 1,000 gold. Hoping, waiting for the tier 3. But XlorD with a knife between his teeth. About to end this.
Unable to spend his resources, and now this Dryad army just looks laughable. Dryad good mid-game units, good chase, good tempo units, but very bad in the late game. 2-2 upgraded, yes, but still the Fiends will have a lot of DPS against them.
Alright then, 50% on the Tree of Ages. Tier 3 is done. Can he queue the bear upgrade? Doesn't seem like it. Can he hold this? Call Nova on the Demon Hunter as always, but there's a lot of potions. But this army can't fight.
Takes out 1 Fiend here, okay, but taking so much damage in return, losing 2 more Dryads. And yeah, Kevin has more income, but he can't spend his gold.
Yeah.
He's got Ancients of Wind now, but I don't know if that's gonna be the answer.
Tier 3 is getting killed without getting any of the necessary upgrades. Mass repair, now trying to buy some time. Lich is here though. Ice Age, Wisp don't wear a coat. And here's the Pit Lord as well. Interesting choice.
For a bit more damage, probably right now not the worst idea. DPS is really where Kevin is lacking. He's got a couple of hippos out now, but oh my god, it's so many Dryads dying, and the Demon Hunter almost as well. Heal potion, invul potion, he survives just barely right here. But XlorD has traded so well so far, and guess what? Now he does have the expansion, so even in a retreat here, XlorD would be fine at this point.
Okay, let's see. Kevin smartly realizing that there's no web and goes for the hippos and chases the destroyers away. That's some good damage right there. Statue not part of this fight anymore. Engine of War was stalling some time. It's still 16 supply lead, but also 1,000 gold for Kevin. Will XlorD leave Kevin alone? Or will there be a rebuild? The tree actually uprooted. I don't think that's of much help though.
Demon Hunter in trouble again. Oh, the Zeppelin not quite in time. Invul potion was still on cooldown. Demon Hunter goes down, and that might be all she wrote. Entangle gonna be dispelled. Keep her out of health, out of mana. Not much more he can offer right here. And these heroes for XlorD so strong now. 5 and 4, almost double level 5. GG, well played is called, and the dream is over. At least in this match. Of course, in the lower bracket, Kevin will still play, but man, he almost defeated XlorD.